All right. If you have a foreign bank account with $10,000 or more in it, you must file an FBAR form with the Financial Crimes Enforcement Network. While most of the people find it more reasonable to keep all their bank accounts in a country of their residence, for those who just moved to the United States or for those who maybe have family abroad, it's not uncommon to have bank accounts in different countries too. There's nothing illegal about it. However, you are required to report this if you have more than $10,000 in the bank account. Reporting is not difficult. It's an informational return, which means you don't have to pay tax at the end of the return. You don't have to pay a fee at the end of this. And you don't have to pay for filing either. Now, to file it, you will go to fincen.gov. From here, we'll go to e-filing. We're going to click on the link. Click again. File individual FBAR. Typically, the due date is April 15. However, IRS will typically grant extensions on tax returns whenever there's a disaster in the area, and also you can file for an extension for your tax return. Generally, FBAR will follow the IRS in this case. So if you have an extension with IRS, you also have an automatic extension with FBAR. So for example, in California, people are allowed to file their taxes by October 15, which means you also get an extension with FBAR for until October 15. So you can either fill out a PDF if that's easier for you, but online form is generally much faster to fill out. So you will enter your information, just your email address, your name, your phone number. Should be easy. And you click Start FBAR. It will take you to the second page, in which you choose the filing name. So this is for you. So you would just put your own name or whatever you want. This is just for you. So you can put your name, FBAR 2018, just like in this example. Now, if you're filing late, you can choose one of the reasons why you're filing late. Can be just forgot to file, and if it's just the first occurrence, chances are high they won't penalize you for this. Or you can put a more extenuating reason why you were not able to file. Once you choose that, you'll be able to put an explanation. Just be honest, just tell the reason, and again, if it's just an honest mistake, you should be fine. Now, once we complete, we'll get back to this section to click submit, but we're not done yet. Now, this report is for calendar year that ended December 31st of 2022. If you filed anything before, you'll have an identifier, but if you don't have it, that's fine. You can also amend if you want to. If it's an amended report, if you made a mistake, you can always click the amended sign. Type of the filer would be, in most cases, it's an individual, but you can also file as a corporation, partnership, or fiduciary, so individual. Your taxpayer identification number for individuals, that's their social security number or ITIN number. But if you're a partnership or a corporation, that could be your EIN number. And then here, obviously, you're choosing whether it's an EIN or it's a personal identifier such as social security number or tax ID number. Foreign identification, if you have any. So you can choose a passport. If you don't have any foreign identification, just leave this blank, but then you have to basically, if you don't have a social security number, then you will have to put your foreign identification number, right? So as long as you have a social or ITIN or an EIN, you should be fine. Now, your date of birth, that's easy. Your last name or the organization's name, if you're filing as an entity. your first name, your middle name, suffix, you put your address, put the mailing address, your state of residence, your zip code, and you can also, if you're in a foreign country, you can put the country. Well, actually, you have to put United States if you're in the US. Now, here it's asking whether you have more than 25 accounts. If yes, you actually don't have to complete part 3, which is a good news, but you just retain the records for your information. If no, you still have to complete it. And then there's another question: does the filer have signature authority over but no financial interest in 25 or more financial accounts? What does this mean? This means if it's a trust account, if it's a custodian account. So basically, let's say you have an account you're managing for a disabled relative. That would be an account where you don't have financial interest, even though you are allowed to make transactions, right? So you can't just go and take money from that account and spend it on yourself. You have to spend it for a specific purpose, but you still have an authority, right? So that's how this distinction is done. So you can say no. Let's say there's less than 25, right? Now, maximum account value, this is basically how much the account had in US dollars. Now, how do you determine how much it was in US dollars? You can use different sources. You can use the Federal Reserve's information. You can use the local central bank's information, right? So as long as it's reasonable, you are fine, right? So now you choose type of the account. You can say bank or securities or other. Securities usually refers to stock market. So let's say it's a bank account. Let's say maximum account value was $25,000. Financial institution name. Say it's Bank of Australia. And then account number or other designation. You put the account number. Obviously, it's a fake account number, and I guess it's a fake bank. And if it exists, it's just coincidental, right? So it's not a reference if there is actually a Bank of Australia. You put the address on the account, and then the foreign postal code, state, and the country. Now, you can always add additional accounts, right? So if you have, let's say, 2 accounts, you just add more, right? So you can add, I believe, up to 25. Now, this is information on financial accounts that are owned jointly, right? So basically, if typically that's your spouse, sometimes your children, sometimes for whatever reason could be other people. And if there's more than one owner, you will basically fill this out. That would be a jointly owned account. So let's say it's also $25,000. Type of the account, let's say it's a bank account. You can always say maximum account value is unknown if you want to. Financial institution name, let's say Bank of the Moon. You put the account number, the address, the state, the country, etc. Now, here it's asking for a principal joint owner information. So if that's you, you put your information. Now, if it's someone else and that person does not have a social security or EIN number, you can always say foreign or unknown, that's fine. And you put that person's information, right? So principal in the United States, that's typically someone who reports interest earned on that account on their tax return. But obviously other countries may have other definitions too. Now, this is information on financial accounts where a filer has signature or other authority but no financial interest, as we discussed. So this is about trust account, custodial account, other accounts where you basically are not free to use the funds the way you want to, but you are still able to do transactions. So again, maximum account value, let's say it's $60,000. Type of the account, let's say this one is a securities account, for example. It's a retirement account. Financial institution name of Penguins. So here you can put the account number again if it's known, and then you put the owner's information, right? So if it's you, put your information. If it's a trust fund, you put the trust's name, etc., etc. And then information on financial accounts where filer is filing consolidated reports. This will be basically cases where you are just pretty much consolidating. So it's pretty rare, but sometimes may happen. So put the information. Now this is the signature part, right? So you can sign here. You have to sign up above, but you'll put your title. Let's say just self. And then you can, if someone else did this, they would put their last name and first name, and then basically this is the information of someone else who filled this form for you. Now back to home and sign form, and here you will sign it. Obviously we haven't filled out the information, that's why it won't let us sign, but once it's done you can just submit it, and that's all. You can literally complete this in less than 10 minutes. Fairly simple and helps you rest compliant with regulation and not get unpleasant phone calls or unpleasant letters regarding FBAR.